Good morning, everyone, and good morning to everybody that's watching us from the live streaming. I know the live streaming has been a real blessing during these weeks that we've had that have been very challenging for all of us. But Father Gregory asked me just to say a few words about where we've been in 2020 and where we're going. It's the beginning of a new ecclesiastical year starting on Tuesday, school starting back, and here we are 8 months into the calendar year with what no one would have expected to happen, that we would be in this pandemic that's disrupted all of our lives. And I know we have pandemic fatigue. I know we can't come to church, we can't worship like we are. We're not having our festival, so I know there may be some anxiety among the church members about the festival and the financial situation of the church. But I'm here to give you some positive news. We're in good shape, and I'll share a few things with you. One, again, even though we've been in this pandemic, the church has continued to be open, and the services have continued to go forward. And with the help of the clergy here at the church and everyone that was involved in bringing the live streaming to the church, and you know who you are, it was such a God-given thing that we had it. And who would have foreseen that a pandemic would require us to rely on it? But it's really been terrific. We've had hundreds of people who've watched the service from all over the country. We've had people that have contacted Father Gregory and Father Micah who knew nothing about Orthodoxy, who found it via the live streaming, and who have contacted him who are interested, in learning more about Orthodoxy. So the Philopticus has continued to do their work during this pandemic period. Some of you may know this, you ladies that are involved in it, but they have given over 700 meals to people inside of our parish during this time, and over 600 meals have gone to the firehouse shelter. With the leadership of our clergy, Bible studies have continued to go forward, although virtually, as well as the church school. So there's a lot of good things that have been going on in the church, that it continues to go, and the church is here for all of us. But there have been some challenges financially and practically that we've had to face this year. And the parish council has worked very hard along with the clergy and the metropolis in trying to be able to bring people back into the church as safely as we can. Ordinarily, at this time of year, we would all be feverishly working on the festival. The festival is a great time. Not only is it good for us financially, but it's a great time for fellowship, and we all work hard at it. And I know it's a disappointment to many of us this year. And it was not an easy decision to make, and it was not made lightly. And we sent out some surveys about the festival, and we had almost 300 responses from y'all. And we thank all of you who responded, and we read all the responses and all the comments in trying to make what was a difficult decision. But at the end of the day, when you set aside the monetary issues, there was no real need to endanger not only our parishioners, but the public in general who loves to come to that festival. And there really wasn't any way to safely do it the way we wanted to do it. And it was difficult to get people, our own parishioners, who, rightfully so, were concerned about being able to work and to keep everyone safe. So because of the festival, we always budget money from the festival to help us throughout the year to complete the budget that we're on. So it does, where we are now, makes it a little more difficult looking towards 2021, because we're having to start working on the budget for that year. But luckily, through the last several years, we have tried very hard to have a rainy day fund and have money set aside, and we have that. And we'll get through this, and we will be fine. We've got the money to get through it in our savings. Many of the comments that y'all presented about the festival was, if we can weather it financially, then why should we risk putting people in danger? And I think at the end of the day, that was really the biggest decision-making that went on. But just to give you a couple of numbers, and some very good numbers to tell you the truth, there's really three main revenue sources that we have at the church. The biggest one, of course, is stewardship. Then we have the festival. Then we have the Pangati collection and the tray that we pass each week. And those are the main ones. And I want to say that stewardship, y'all have been exceedingly generous. That stewardship is almost where it was last year. And we appreciate in these difficult times y'all continuing to honor the stewardship, because as of August the 25th, we had collected $387,172 of stewardship. And what we count stewardship, that's where the people have signed the cards or people designated as stewardship. So that's 52.1% of the pledges that we've collected as of August the 25th, which is very good for the situation that we're in. By comparison, last year we had collected 52.5% as of this same time. So stewardship is very good, it's very strong, and we're grateful and thank you all for supporting the church that you do. And we've worked hard to cut expenses. As of August the 25th, we've cut $92,144 out of the budget expense so far this year. So we're working to try to make it work as much as we can, but clearly we're going to have a shortfall, although we have it in our savings to weather it, but because of the festival and because we don't get to pass the tray and light our own candles, and so that's a shortfall as well that we don't have this year. But we have taken advantage, the church as well as the daycare, of the Payroll Protection Act. We got all the money that we were entitled to get. We worked very closely with our accountants to make sure that it was not a loan, that it was in fact a grant, and that's been done, and that's helped us keep our employees employed. And you probably noticed some of the things that have been done, like the painting that went on in the fire hall down below, and all the restriping of the parking lots, things that needed to be done that we were able to do during this time period. But here's what I want to talk to you about today, and that is we are going to have a gap in our year, at least on the budget form. And one of the things that was striking about the surveys we sent about the festival was that 63% of the people said that if they were in a position to do so, that they would be willing to pay more this year to help us get through this time period. And so that's a tremendous number, and we greatly appreciate that. So just a couple of thoughts about that. Many of us, a lot of us at this time of year generally would be writing a check either to the Giving Tree or to the ad book. And that's been a great benefit that we use to offset the expenses of the festival. But we're not going to have a festival this year, and it won't be the ad book, and it won't be the Giving Tree. But that's an area that we normally fund and we ordinarily give to. And of course, that money at the end of the day comes to the church anyway. So that's one area that at our stewardship meeting we thought about, that if you can and you're willing to do what you would ordinarily do to one of those things, that would be a tremendous help to us moving forward. We're looking at trying to come up safely with a plan that allows everybody to get a candle in the back and to light it. We know you like to do that and offer your own prayers when you light your candle. We'll have to get approval through the metropolis, but we're looking at some ideas, trying to do that, as well as ideas about Sunday school and whether we can come back to Sunday school and do it in accordance with the metropolis procedures and make everyone safe. We're also looking at trying to have some services out at Camp Bacacus outside when the weather gets a little cooler, and maybe more people will feel comfortable being outside. It's obviously safer when you're outside, and that's something we're looking at and hope that that we can do as we move forward. But with your help, we are in a strong position. Thank the Lord that we have been a very giving community, and we've had a rainy day fund that's going to get us through this. Who knows how long we're going to be doing this? It could be for some time. But the church is here for all of you and all of us. The doors are always open. And so I just say in closing that we thank all of you. God bless all of you for your commitment and your generosity that you've done during these difficult times. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg, and thank all of you for supporting our parish. So just quickly, an announcements for